Hello guys, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Tessie. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all, depending on where you are watching from. Hope you all are doing well, and thank you so much for stopping by. So there are reports that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is preparing to dissolve his cabinet and replace his current ministers with new ones. Yes. So this major change, according to sources, is expected to happen possibly before the president travels to the United States for the United Nations General Assembly. And according to sources, the president wants to bring in fresh faces to bring new energy and ideas to the government. However, this news has stirred up a lot of debate, especially among those who opposes Tinubu's leadership, which is the opposition. Yeah, so before we continue, I want to beg you all to please help me by liking and sharing this video so that YouTube and Facebook can recommend it to more people. So critics, particularly from the oppositions, are quick to mock and criticize the move. To them, dissolving the cabinet this early in Tinubu's presidency is a clear sign of failure. They argue that if the president is already planning to replace his ministers, it means he made bad choice when forming his cabinet in the first place. Was President Tinubu's judgment flawed? Were the ministers he appointed not up to the task from the beginning? These are the questions being raised by the opposition as they see this as a proof that Tinubu's government is struggling. Also, the opposition has quickly pointed to several ongoing issues in the country, such as the weak economy, widespread insecurity, and the frustration of many Nigerians as a sign that this Tinubu's administration is not delivering on its promises.
There is no business in market again. We all just sit down since morning. No people. Do you see anybody around? Nobody.
It's painful because we didn't see money, we didn't see customer. Nobody is entering the market to price or to buy. No cash. I feel bad. Yes, I feel bad. I feel pain with cries, tears. Many people are crying. There is no money. People are dying. People are struggling to look for the money, but where is the money?
They argue that the president's slogan of renewed hope is turning out to be nothing more than empty words. And the question now is, if the ministers Tinubu trusted to help run the country are now being removed, how can Nigerians trust that he has the right plan for the future? And how can we trust his new choice of ministers? For many in the opposition, the timing of this potential cabinet shakeup is suspicious. They believe that Tinubu may be trying to make it seem like he is taking a bold step just before heading to the UN General Assembly, where he will meet with other world leaders. To them, this could be an attempt to make himself look strong and decisive on the global stage, while hiding the fact that his government is not functioning well at home. In their view, this sudden shake-up shows that Tinubu's administration lack ability, direction, and careful planning. On the other hand, some people believe that this cabinet reshuffle may not necessarily be a sign of failure. They argue that making changes to government team is not unusual, especially in the early stages of an administration. It could be that President Tinubu has identified areas where his current ministers are underperforming and want to correct these mistakes by bringing in new and more capable people. All right, my people, and that is it for you all. The truth of the matter is that these people in the government, they like chasing shadows instead of doing the real thing, which is Tinubu himself resigning, which is the honorable thing to do. He stubbornly holds on to power and continue to make poor decisions that are hurting the country. A leader is expected to lead his people with wisdom and compassion, but Tinubu's leadership has been marked by failure and disorganization. Despite the growing frustration of Nigerians who are struggling with the economy, insecurity, and lack of opportunities, Tinubu refuses to take responsibility for the state of the nation. Instead of acknowledging his mistakes and stepping aside, he continues down the same destructive path, making decisions that do more harm than good. This kind of behavior is not new in the global politics, and it does not always end well. For example, in recent years, we have seen leaders like Robert Mugabe Mugabe of Zimbabwe, who clung to power for decades despite the economic collapse and widespread of suffering of his people. Instead of stepping down and allowing for a change in leadership, Mugabe stubbornly stayed in power until he was eventually forced out. His refusal to resign cost Zimbabwe years of progress and left the country in a much worse state. And that is where Nigeria is heading to. Another example is Nicolas Maduro of Venezuela, whose leadership has been heavily criticized due to the country's severe economic crisis and political instability. Many Venezuelans have called for his resignation, but Maduro has held on to power, ignoring the calls for change. His actions have led to widespread poverty, food shortages, and mass migration, yet he remains in office, continuing to make decisions that many believe are worsening the situation. Tinubu's refusal to step down in Nigeria follows a similar pattern. Instead of accepting responsibility for his leadership failures, he continues to push forward with policies that are not helping the country. It is just frustrating to see leaders like this stay in power while their people suffer, refusing to listen to the voices calling for change. The refusal to step aside when it is clear that they are not delivering on their promises is a common trait in many world leaders who cling to power, regardless of the damage they cause. In Tinubu's case, the people of Nigeria deserve better. They deserve a leader who will put their need first and take responsibility for the state of the nation. Yet, Tinubu continues to act without regard for the well-being of the country, holding on to power and making decisions that only seem to benefit a small group, while the majority of Nigerians continue to suffer. May this kind of heartlessness and selfish behavior bring them no peace. Leaders who refuses to listen to their people and make decisions that harm the nation rarely find lasting success. Tinubu, like other world leaders who have refused to step down when they should, will ultimately face the consequences of their actions. I believe in many African countries where we have coup d'etat today, their leader did not see it coming. They felt on top of the world. It started just like this until it eventually happened. They should continue. It's not as if maybe Nigeria may not be exception if things continue like this, because it's not as if these people are not seeing the things happening in Nigeria. In fact, the military, they suffers more than the ordinary citizens. Some of them, they sent to Sambisa Forest to fight without equipment, and they end up getting themselves killed there. So it's not as if maybe they are happy with the situation of Nigeria. They should continue. The day of reckoning is coming. These people, they know the right thing to do, but they have refused out of wickedness and their own selfish desire. It doesn't take anything to make Nigeria a better country. At least we are not asking for a perfect country. I have said this several times that we, the Nigerian people, are not asking for a perfect country, but a better country. And it is work in progress. But let us see that you're doing something, not taking us back to 80s, 70s, and 50s. Even Nigeria of 50 is better than the Nigeria of today. So you are retrogressing us, not progressing us. That is why we are crying. We know that the situation of Nigeria cannot be solved. The problems of Nigeria cannot be solved in a day. But let us see you that you're doing something. That is all the Nigerian people are asking. And I don't think this is too much. But the leaders, they don't understand this. Anyways, that is the news for you all. I saw it and I decided to come share with you all. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video. Remain blessed until I come your way next time. Bye.